Hello, this is Katherine Marie, and you're listening to Long COVID Real Talk podcast. Please forgive me for not turning on the video. It's really late at night, and I can't sleep, and I don't want to turn on any lights that will wake up my family. I had the urge to make an episode because I can't sleep, and I was just talking to someone today, another long hauler, and they were talking about how they were having trouble sleeping, and I was thinking, well, knock on wood, I usually don't have that problem, but of course now I do, at least tonight. So I just wanted to share that today I was really, really tired. I slept all day this past weekend. I went to the park and mostly sat on a blanket, but it was for a little play date for my daughter, and I guess it just really wore me out. I fell asleep the rest of that day, and then I slept all day today. And all I really did was sit on a blanket at the park and watch kids play, And when all you do is sit on a blanket and then you're sleeping for at least 2 days afterward, it just really affects your mind and hopeless you feel like your life has become, how overwhelmed you feel with everything that happens in your life. You just feel like you have no control and you have no idea if you're ever really going to get better. I try really hard to have a lot of hope. I try to cling to it in any possible way, shape, or form, but it's just getting really hard sometimes. And today is one of those days where it's just been really, really difficult. I feel overwhelmed by the workers' comp / disability stuff. I feel ashamed that I'm not working. I feel guilty that I'm not a better mom and that I have to hire somebody to help me watch my own kid. I just feel like it's really easy to get really down. And today, like I was just having trouble just existing. Just existing was almost painful. And I don't mean that in any way like I'm at risk of harming myself or something like that. I don't have any risk of that, but it just makes me feel like it's such a burden to be alive. I can't even describe all the things that I experience in my body with this illness. It's like your whole body has like zero energy, and it's like you've been awake for 3 days straight and your mind isn't functioning correctly, and it gets overwhelmed by the smallest thing. Like if you knock over a tube of makeup while you put your face down in the sink to wash your face in the morning, just these little things become these huge things where you want to swear and have this huge reaction because you just have no reserve. It's hard to think of words that you want to say. It's hard to text because your fingers get so clumsy and you're constantly going back to correct spelling things that your fingers have just, again, very clumsily written the wrong things. So it's hard to communicate. And today was just a really hard day. I don't know any other way around it, and I don't really know what else to say about it. But sometimes it just feels like a burden to be alive because you feel like you're a burden to everyone in your life. You feel like you're not pulling your weight. You feel like you're worthless. It's like this illness attacks every part of you, including your mind. It's almost like it's a hallucinogenic or something. It's like that's how strong the effect on the mind is. It's not just depression. It's like some active attacking of the brain that causes you to truly believe that you are worthless and you can't do anything worthwhile on this earth. Like you're just supposed to accept the suffering and just continue on. And it's really hard to do that. I don't like to do negative episodes, but I feel like if I didn't do that when I feel that way, then it wouldn't really be authentic. And I don't want the podcast to be like a toxic positivity type thing. It's just like the reality is that I'm a shell of who I used to be. My brain doesn't work anymore the way it used to work. I can't think of words that I want to say. It's just so hard to exist. It's hard to exist from moment to moment because you can't think straight. It's just hard to sit with this illness and feel like your life is just kind of passing you by, and the life that you have is so much less worthwhile than your old life was. And you think to yourself, how has it gotten to this point that I feel so worthless? How has it gotten to this point that I'm so overwhelmed by simple things? How has it gotten to this point that just with the smallest life situations, I just get completely overwhelmed? There just feels like there's no respite for it. You feel like your body and your mind have just completely gone crazy. And there's a part of you that really hopes that there's a piece of yourself that you haven't lost yet, still there, that you can somehow get back someday. I've been doing the cold water therapy for about a month at this point, and maybe even 6 weeks. And I think there has been some improvement because I felt well enough to go to the park. A lot of times most of the time, I don't feel well enough to leave my house. So that's something, But then anytime you feel like you have any sort of improvement, then the pendulum swings back in the opposite direction and you feel like such an idiot for ever thinking that you could ever have hope in this situation. I keep thinking to myself that I'm going to get better, that I'm already getting better, that my body is healing itself. I tell myself these things all the time because I really want to believe them. But the truth is, I don't really know. But yeah, today I just really had a hard time existing. There were so many weird sensations that I was having, like feeling kind of dizzy. I had some ringing in my ears. I felt like I was drunk a little bit, like my cerebellum wasn't working very well. Like I could fall over or something. My mood has been really bad today, and sleep just feels like something that my body keeps crashing to every time it tries to do something, it just can't really go on, and then it crashes into sleep. But the sleep is also a respite from how I'm feeling. I also wonder if this will end up killing me. Like, I don't know. I don't want to think that. I want to think that I'm strong and young, and I don't want anything to happen to myself because I don't want anything to happen to my daughter. But it scares me that there's so much unknown about long COVID. I don't want anything to happen to my husband. I don't want them to have to go through it, but I also feel like I'm not able to be the mom and the wife that I want to be. Like, it just feels like it's not possible. I worry that my daughter and my husband will resent me if they don't already in some ways. And I wish there was some way to right the scales so that I felt like I was doing my part and I wasn't constantly falling on my face. Anyway, if you're having a bad night, just know that you're not alone. And not all the nights are going to be bad. I keep telling myself this, and it's going to get better. It's not hopeless. We're slowly getting better, even if we have setbacks. And I need to believe that someday I'll be able to be myself again because I really miss myself. My life feels very empty without being able to be myself. And it's hard knowing that my loved ones only get a shell of my former self. It's really hard. Anyway, I've been talking for long enough, I think. I think I should be able to sleep now. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again real soon.